This problem is merge two sorted lists. Let's see, medium difficulty. This is going to turn out to be a two-pointer pattern. Now, if you're preparing for interviews, I put together a free PDF on the patterns that interviewers actually use. The link to that is in the video description. Pretty good success rate on this. Asked at Adobe, Expedia, Microsoft, Amazon. All right, that's a good collection of companies. If you would like to work at one of those companies, if you're currently interviewing at one of those companies. The problem description is, this is an interesting title, merge two sorted lists. Usually when you see lists in a problem title, they're talking about linked lists, not array lists. What we have here is, array lists. In fact, they even call them arrays in the problem description. Given two sorted integer arrays, A and B, merge B into A as one sorted array. You can't really do that in Java because arrays are, well, in a lot of programming languages, arrays are static data structures. And so you can't merge new elements into them. What else? I mean, I have seen problems merge sorted arrays, and then typically you'll merge it into you'll create a new array of size A plus B and do the merge that way. Very similar. It's still two pointers. All right, note you have to modify A to contain the merge of A and B. Do not output anything. C users, malloc the result into a new array and return the result. Okay. Yeah, so in C, they don't have anything that's the equivalent of an array list in order to do this. If the number of elements initialized in A and B is M and N respectively, let's see, the resulting size of array A after your code is executed should be size M plus N. And actually, I think on LeetCode they have a merge arrays thing, sort of like this, but they initialize the first array to size M plus N, or they declare it as being size M plus N, with the extra cells being initially empty, and then you merge the second array into the first. It's still pointers, but it's you need to do it in reverse order. I think they list that as an easy problem, but it's the insight on that is it's a little tricky. I mean, I encourage you to go over to LeetCode and have a look at that, merging the two arrays. Problem constraints. The length of A and B will be between 1 and 10 to the 5th, 100,000. You got an integer list, really, and integer list A, integer list B. Update A. Here's an example. All right. Yeah, we should go through the example. Okay, we can use this example here, but I want to spread it out a little bit because otherwise there's not going to be enough room to do what we need to do here. 1, 5, 8, 6, and 9. All right, n equals b dot size, so that's 2. Now we're not going to do m equals a dot size because the size of a is going to change as we merge the elements. So we'll put that down here in the while loop. I is our index for list A, j is our index for list B. Realize you can't really see that There it is. Okay, list B. All right. While there is at least one element left in both lists, okay, then we'll compare, and let's start it like right here. This will be I. I is going to start out here. J is going to start out here. While the element in list A is greater than the element in list B, which it isn't. So we drop into the else and just increment, get rid of that, increment I. So now I is here, right? Back to the loop again. Is the element in list I greater than the element in list B? Now we have 5 and 6. It's still not greater, right? So again, get rid of that and increment I, right? Now we're in the loop again. Let's see. Is the element in list A, greater than B? So now we have 8 and 6. Yes, it is greater. So what happens is I at this point is 2. The index in list A is 2. Now there's an array list method. It's overloaded in Java, add, and you can add an element, in which case it'll go at the end of the list, or you can add an element at a certain index. Just put the index first, and you can insert it at a certain point. Now I is 2. We are going to add the element at index J. We're also going to increment J. So let's do that. Let's add the 6 at index 2, which would be here. Okay? And increment J. Right? That's gone. And now we are at J. Now we have to make one more adjustment as we're drawing this. We didn't increment I. We didn't increment I. So I is still 2. I is pointing at index 2, which is now 6. Okay. We really don't want it to be pointing at 8 because, let's say the next element in B is 7. Okay. Well, the 7 would go after the 6, before the 8. We don't want to be pointing at the 8 because we've already gone too far. Okay. All right, that's good. Next, all right, I is still 2, J is 1. Go back up to the top. Is the element in list A greater than list B? And the answer is no. So get rid of that, and we'll increment index I. Okay. Back up to the top. Is the element in list A greater than list B? No. Okay. Go back. Increment. Now we're here. We're done. We got to drop out of the while loop because the index has gone beyond the size of A. All right. Now, a couple things here. If an element goes, if the index J goes beyond the size of B, then we're done. It means we have merged all of the elements in B. So we don't have to do anything else. On the other hand, if J is still less than N, meaning this is on line 15, meaning that we haven't merged all the elements of B, then we need to add the rest of the elements in B to the end of list A. Okay, that's what the add all method is on line 16. Now in this case, add all, it really only adds one element, but the idea there is we're going to add everything that's left in B because we have reached the end of A. We're going to add the rest of the elements in B. How do we get the rest of the elements in B? It's a method called subList. If you're using another programming language, it will almost certainly have a corresponding method to get a sublist. B.sublist jn, that means start at index j, which is 1 inclusive, and go to n, which is 2 exclusive. So it's just one element. And we add it right here at the end. All right, so that is our merged answer. Let's run this to see how it goes. Oh, go here. All right. All right, so that's it. Rating on this is medium. I would say it's probably on the easier side of medium, but yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, check out the playlist on screen to keep leveling up. Most people fail interviews because they don't recognize patterns. I wrote up the 12, including 2 pointers that show up over and over, free PDF. You can find the link in the video description.